Welcome back, and we are back in Whispers from the Star. We're gonna try and see if we can help Stella and maybe force us our own agenda. Unless I am totally hitting the nail on the head, I'm pretty sure it's my own agenda. So if you haven't been watching the fairly lengthy segments, they're about an hour apiece so far. This is number three in that series mini series going on. We're trying to get her to think that one of her crew members is the reason why the pod crashed, or maybe several, or all. So I don't know if that is the plot of the story, but that's the plot we're trying to get her to believe. I'm wondering if she's gonna just find out all at the end, and we're gonna get in big trouble. She's gonna hate us, but I think this is day three for her. But let's get into it. So she's awakened in the morning and it's time to get moving. So, where do you think the signal is coming from? So, right now we're trying to figure out if she knows where she's going. Oh, the base, that's right. That's right. The AI has been doing such a good job of remembering most things. There's a few things it doesn't remember, but it's doing that pretty good with that. So I'll give it that. The construction's really nice. Oh yeah, she's saying it's morning time. That's why. That it is. Um, have you had breakfast? Gotta make sure she's good. So I think she did expire in number two, only because I didn't choose my words carefully. I made a supposition and she didn't, so she fell off a cliff. But let's see, she had emergency rations, protein bars, blah 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 blah. What about? So she's making small talk again. Yeah, usually I skip a breakfast. Today I've skipped a breakfast. It's about 6:50 a.m. for me. Um, so you're heading off right now. So she's been to Hawaii according to this system, and she's had poke bowls. So for those of you who don't know what poke bowls are, they are raw fish marinated in some kind of a seasoning. So in my case, I like soy sauce and onions and ogo, which is a type of seaweed, and she likes spicy tuna apparently. It's kind of nice having some. She's already on the move. Okay, blah blah blah. Makes okay. Let's drop her a quick a sidetrack. Remember, I'm looking at that satellite. Now I don't have to use the thermal. I thought I saw some movement to your east, so that would be your right side, um, because you're heading north. I don't know. I'm not looking at anything. You can see my screen there. So she seems to, okay, for this part, because it seems like the AI reverts back to a script every so often, but while she's traveling and at other times, it does seem like she is free to think. So like here she's saying it's nice that I can see, even if it's just giving her a heads up. But she's into it. Yeah, it looked like there was a couple of humanoid figures that quickly went under the that bush or tree or something over there, and they were kind of looking in your direction. Let's get that paranoia going for her. We're still trying to get that premise that a couple of her crewmates is what caused the crash. So she's scanning the area. If they're hiding behind something, she needs to be ready. Keep watching. I surely will, because unlike you, I don't fully trust your crewmates. I know you've known them for a long time, but people do change and people do wear masks. So you don't truly know their true intentions or personality. All right, let's see where that gets. It's unsettling to think about, especially after everything that's happened. But honestly, most of them have been so supportive, like Daniel and Max. They've always been there for us. So I also have her believing that I could see the logs of her shuttle and Doctor, whatever his name was, shuttle. So, but I guess trust has to be earned, right? Especially out here. Well, also, if you've been misled, it's hard to know you've been misled until they cross that line. So we're still trying to push her to that, but I don't know how strong that storyline script is going to take over once we get to the next point. As far as I can tell, each point of interest, I guess you could call it, prompts a video call, and then she kind of follows a script from there. So it seems to go good until that script comes out. Sometimes the most dangerous people are the ones who hide it well. Yes, it's a heavy thought, especially when I'm counting on finding them for help. I just hope my instincts are on point about who to trust. What do your instincts tell you about who to trust? Who do you trust? Let's see if she can get us to name some of the crew and maybe some background on that. Right now, outside, oh, she trusts me. It's mostly okay. I know it sounds weird, but with everything that's happened, I'm trying to keep my guard up. But talking to you, it really helps. I don't have to read it. She can read it.
But talking to you, it really helps. You don't have any stake in all this, and yet you're still here,
Steak would be good.
helping me figure things out.
All right. Hey, no problem, Stella. I have become fond of you, so I just look out for your best interests. And I've seen many a time where this kind of a thing happens, and the best person you thought could protect you is the one that caused all the problem to begin with. I'm not talking about myself in this case, but I we'll see how this goes. It's an open premise, and I mean, I don't know, maybe it's not an open premise. Maybe there was a thing, but excellent. So, let's see what we can do here. Pause this real quick. Okay, so games and in real life, but and movies, but I've also seen it in real life where you know a person that you trusted isn't trustworthy. Let's see. You don't even have to be close to someone. So what do you do when you? Well, over time, I've learned to just cover myself. So not to say I don't fully open to people, which I don't anymore. But you kind of gauge what you can and what you can't, and if it's not serious enough, it won't matter. Hard to give a lot of these explanations in these 20-second gaps that they give you. Yeah, kind of what that is. Well, it's more about the topic, right? So if someone's talking about things that are gonna really may that could get you in trouble if they were construed wrong or anything like that, that would be serious. Well, I guess it depends on how serious trouble you'd be getting into, also, right? So that kind of a thing. I mean, the AI seems to be very in depth about this. I mean, it listens and it takes in and it understands, sort of, if that makes any sense. The really thing, what's I consider serious trouble? It's not. Yes. So survival would be quite serious, and taking it with a grain of salt, though. I mean, we don't know who you can trust or who caused this, but one certainty. What just happened? She cut me off. Something serious is happening. All right, almost at the top of the ridge. And there we go. Let's see if I can get this top pop up. I guess that's not working. Okay, we'll pull it back down. All right.
This view, it is amazing. And that's gotta be Mount Hermes
Interesting.
over
The
there.
background, my Windows desktop background, kind of
Seeing it like
matches
this
with what.
makes me feel like I'm not just wandering
see.
aimlessly anymore.
If we make this
Now,
go like
I am making some progress.
that, that almost looks like it matches.
Even though everything has gone completely wrong, we were always going to end up there as part of our mission. It was never supposed to be like this.
Now let's see. Well, don't forget, whoever caused this may also be there. And that doctor might be a part of it. He did plant that key card there. And a lot of evidence, circumstantial as it is, does point to that. So be careful, Stella. Let's see how impactful.
I know. It's hard not to think about that possibility. Dr. Harvey's ID card
Dr. Harvey.
showing up out here does feel suspicious.
See?
But
So
at
she
the
does
same
remember.
time, I've worked with him. He always seemed so professional, so genuinely invested in the mission. It's tough to picture him involved in something like that. What do you think, Grimitor? Have you ever been in a situation where someone
See,
you
so this
trusted let you down?
seems like script. What? Well, like what we were talking earlier, yes, I have. And I've gotten into some big trouble because I've been double crossed. And things have been made up to put me in a bad light. And yes, so I would definitely wager caution with Dr. Harvey. It seems very uncanny that all of the facts are as they are.
I can imagine how tough that must have been for you. It's one thing to deal with strangers you can't trust, but someone you've worked closely with? That's a whole different kind of betrayal. You're right. The way everything's lined up does seem too convenient.
There you go.
I'll definitely keep my guard up around him if I run
But
into him
the
at the base.
script seems to keep putting her back to trusting him, so they must be really close. I understand you've worked with him for a long time. How long do you say? It was only 2 years, though, right? You could fake it for 2 years. And he may have an ulterior motive, like we discussed earlier. Or he may have fallen into some kind of a financial problem. Or it may be something about a discovery. You never know. That kind of thing really puts someone in a bad way. Which is true. It's not wrong. It's just maybe not be him.
Yeah, 2 years isn't a lifetime, but it's long enough to think you know someone, you know?
No, it's not.
Especially
Well, I
when you're
get the
working
feeling,
together
but-
toward a common goal. The financial or discovery angle, that's a good point. If someone's desperate, they might do things they wouldn't normally consider. It's unsettling to think about. It makes me wonder, What's been the biggest lesson you've learned from dealing with people who've let you down? Is there anything that stuck with you over time?
Yeah, just be alert, be observant, and just make sure you don't fool yourself.
That's really wise advice. It's easy to get caught up in what you want to believe, especially when it comes to people you respect. Speaking of being observant, this view from up here is really something. It's so peaceful and untouched compared to the cities back on Earth. Do you think you'd miss the hustle and bustle if you were stuck in a place like this? Or would you prefer the quiet?
For me, I'd rather be stuck on an alien planet. I like the quiet. I like how nature is. I don't, as much as I enjoy technology, I like the outdoors. I like going back to how things, you know, without technology. As much as I need it, I don't at the same time, you know? That actually is a little true tidbit about me. I do enjoy
I
going on
get it.
hikes and
There's something
walks.
special about being
As
out in
much as I play
nature,
games
away
and I
from all the
love my
noise.
computer,
It's like you can
it's
actually
just
hear
something
yourself
about
think.
going on a
What's your
walk with
favorite
no
outdoor thing to
technology, no
do?
reception.
Hiking, camping, or something
Oh,
else
is this thing
entirely?
actually working? She's like you, I do enjoy going for a nice hike. I love going to places that are like remote. I enjoy a good area where I can walk and there's a good scenery or open air area, like that area behind you there. I would enjoy walking through that. Here in Hawaii, there's a Volcano National Park. Awesome place to just go and hang out.
A volcano national park sounds incredible. I can imagine the landscapes must be breathtaking. The mix of rugged beauty and the power of nature, it's awe-inspiring, isn't it? Being out here on Gaia, it's similar in a way. Everything feels so untouched, so pure. It's a strange contrast to Earth's cities, where there's always something going on, always some kind of noise or distraction. Do you think you'd ever get bored with the quiet, or is that part of the appeal for you?
Yeah, I think that's part of the appeal for me. Going back to how, like, basics, I guess it is. Building a structure from nothing, having to catch your food, figuring out your water situation, all that kind of thing. I would find that interesting. I'd miss my gaming, but that kind of a life would be quite interesting. Also, a true tidbit, not making that part up.
I totally get that. There's something satisfying about being self sufficient, even if it's just for a little while. Though I have to admit, right now I'm really hoping for some of those basics to be taken care of at Hermes base. Though if we ever end up on a survival adventure together, I'm counting on you to handle the fishing. Deal?
Deal. However, fishing is not my thing, but I could go trapping and hunting for you, and I probably could figure out a way to get some fishing done. I don't have patience for fishing, but maybe we'll figure something else out. I'll MacGyver something out of everything. Also, a true tidbit.
I like the way you think. No fishing rods needed, just creativity and whatever we find lying around. That's probably more useful out here anyway. You know, it's funny. Talking to you about all this makes me realize how different my life must seem from yours. What's something you do back on Earth that you think I'd find surprising or cool?
It's funny she says that because she is from Earth. She's from California, and she said she's from, what was it, near San Diego, I think, or San Francisco? One of the two. And from the year 2027. So it's not like it's a totally different thing. Oh, I don't know. You said you were from Earth just 2 years from now. I'm sure a lot of things now are very similar to what you're doing, except we don't have space travel effective yet. So, yeah. Although, if you haven't been to the Volcanoes National Park, going for a crater walk is pretty awesome.
No, I haven't been there, but I've seen pictures. It looks incredible. The idea of walking on volcanic landscapes, seeing nature's raw power up close, that's definitely something I'd love to experience someday. It's interesting, though, thinking about how much has probably changed between our times. Even
It's only
small
two
things might be
years.
different. What's something about your daily life that you think would surprise someone from 2 years in the future like me?
Well, that's a hard one. I don't think. Well, I can't imagine without more information what could be that different. It's only 2 years. Um, when I think back to 2 years ago, not much has really changed for me. Um, what do you think I would find different? Yeah, let's throw that back at you.
Hmm.
She's generating a thought.
Probably small things I take for granted, like maybe how we handle communication. Star portal tech has changed a lot of that for us.
Hmm,
Or maybe even just little advancements in everyday tech that seem normal to me now. Though honestly,
that's
I
true.
think the biggest difference might be my perspective. Being out here, seeing Earth from this distance,
That is
it
also
makes you
true.
think differently about home, doesn't it?
I don't know, not for me. I don't know if I would. I probably would enjoy it, and it would be a spectacular sight. But yeah, how do vehicles work back home for you in your time? Any flying cars yet? 2 years. It's only 2 years. Granted, 2 years can be a long time and a very large technological jump. But
Flying cars? Not quite yet. Though we do have some really advanced drones and personal transport pods that can hover short distances.
okay, see, so
They're mostly used
I
for
don't
specific jobs or in
I don't
controlled
think we're there
areas,
yet.
though.
Like in
But
in
hey,
in
who
this
knows?
our real
Maybe
timeline.
by the time I get back, someone will have figured out how to make them work safely for everyone. Wouldn't that be something?
Here's the question. So, in the 2 years difference, or so in the last 2 years for you, what were some of the biggest technological advancements that you have seen? Let's see if we can get her to tell us that.
Well, the biggest one is probably the advancements in AGI. Our artificial general intelligence systems have gotten incredibly sophisticated.
Okay, that
They're
may be
not just
true.
assisting with calculations anymore. They're actually helping us solve complex problems in fields like medicine and environmental science. And of course, the Star Portal network has expanded
Okay, so
significantly,
that
making interstellar
is
travel
fictional.
faster and more reliable. That's been a game
I don't think
changer
we
for
could have that for
exploration
two
and
years.
research. It's funny though. Sometimes I think about how all these advancements are supposed to make life easier, but being out here, relying on basic survival instincts, it makes you appreciate the simple things, doesn't it?
That it does. And I think that's the reason I play a lot of survival craft games. I would like to be able to do that. At the same token, though, being able to switch it off is a nice feature and come back to this kind of a technology level in reality. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
Exactly! Having that balance is perfect. The thrill of survival mode, then the comfort of real life. Though I have to say, I'm getting a crash course in the survival part out here. It's interesting how games can prepare you mentally for situations like this, even if it's not the same as the real thing. Do you find that playing survival games has taught you anything useful for everyday life? Or is it more about the fun and challenge for you?
No, I think I've already come equipped with all those things that the survival games would have taught me. I've already learned that in real life, but for me, it's mostly the fun and the enjoyment and the, I guess, somewhat of the challenge of what the games bring. But they do help me cement that into my mind, like procedure wise. That is also a true tidbit.
That makes
Not
sense.
everything we tell her is a lie.
It's like your experiences are already the foundation, and the games are more of a mental exercise, keeping those skills sharp. I've
That's
been
exactly
thinking
what I was
about my
trying to
own
say.
skills lately. How some of the things I learned in school are actually proving useful out here. It's funny how life works out sometimes.
Yeah, it is. So, where in the background of where you're at is do you think the base is? Let's start.
From what I can see, Mount Hermes is directly east of here. There are some really tall trees that look like they could be landmarks for the base. The base itself? I'm not entirely sure. Dr. Harvey's notes mentioned it was supposed to be near the mountain, but I don't have a precise location. I'll have to figure that out once I get closer.
And how many escape pods do you think came down? And how many crew do you estimate? And what are their names? Maybe I can uh, get into the system and look them up and maybe find a background and maybe profile each one for you. Let's see if she falls for that one.
Let's see. I think there were about 10 escape pods launched during the evacuation. Our crew was around that size too. There was Professor Stenberg, our mission leader, Dr. Harvey as our medic, Daniel Coleman handling navigation, and then a few students, including Hiroshi Max Kurosawa, Oliver Ramirez, and Natalie Alharithi. Plus me, of course.
Well, I
I'm
couldn't
not
write
sure
all
if you
that
could
down
access
that
their
fast.
profiles from Earth. The university's systems are probably pretty locked down, especially for something like this. But if you do find anything useful, let me know.
All right. So I did look up a few of them. It did take a little bit to get past the security of the university, but it does seem like Harvey seems to have quite a bit of blacked out areas and deleted information. Let's try and drop that on her.
Blacked out areas and deleted information? That's not good at all. It makes me wonder what he was trying to hide, and if it's connected to what's going on here. Do you think it's possible someone else could have accessed and altered his records? Or does it look like something he did himself?
It does seem like the entries were deleted. Now, whether he did it or someone else did it, does he have access to the school's database as far as that goes?
As a professor and the mission's chief medical officer, Dr. Harvey would have had some level of access, especially to medical records and possibly personnel files. But deleting or altering his own information, that's a significant red flag. It suggests he was trying to cover something up,
There we
intentionally
go.
hiding parts of his past or activities from prying eyes.
So have you come across any aliens in your adventures in space? Could this perhaps be an alien influence? Maybe he is in league with a different species that we do not know. Now that's a throw.
Honestly, nothing definitive yet. We've picked up some weird readings and seen a few things that didn't quite explain themselves, but nothing we could confirm as alien life. As for Dr. Harvey being in league with another species, I really hope not. That would be a
She's not saying
whole
it
new
didn't
level
happen.
of complicated. But at this point, I wouldn't rule anything out.
Maybe it's like a governmental thing. Maybe he's in league with a different government, striving for the same goal as you are. It does seem to imply that he has a couple other colleagues that are on this trip. So it does seem like you are dealing with more than one person with this incident. Jumping down that rabbit hole here.
A different government? That's a pretty dark thought. It would mean this goes way beyond just personal motives. It could be something much bigger and more sinister. And yeah, if Dr. Harvey's involved with others, that makes things even more dangerous. I just hope I'm not walking into something I can't handle.
There we go. Let's see if she remembers that. And as I was looking into your navigator, it seems like the nav computer seems to have some anomalous data that shouldn't be in there. Perhaps he was planning on hijacking the ship and something went wrong. Perhaps that black hole caused the navigation to go crazy, which is what caused the crash. Or something.
Anomalous data in the nav computer? That's terrifying. If someone was trying to hijack the ship and something went wrong, that could explain why everything spiraled out of control so fast. The evacuation report did mention that the ship's systems were all over the place when the neutrino levels
Ah,
spiked.
there you go.
But if there was deliberate tampering that changes everything, it means this wasn't just an accident. It was sabotage.
That's what I've already said. Yeah, so who else other than Daniel, I think you said, had access to the navigational computer? Does everybody? Can anybody put in any kind of a flight plan or any adjustments to navigation? How long is she going to stand here and do this?
Officially, only Daniel and Professor Stenberg had direct access to make changes to the navigation system. Though in an emergency, anyone with clearance could override it temporarily. But
Temporarily.
tampering with the nav computer before the mission, that would require a pretty high level of access. And a lot of knowledge about how our systems work.
To your knowledge, who fits that bill? Who could have done that before the system, before the mission? And it does imply that Daniel and Stenberg, Dr. Stenberg, are in with Harvey.
That's a really uncomfortable thought. Dr. Harvey and Professor Stenberg were both high ranking, and Daniel, as our navigator, had full access to the systems for his job. But to think they'd all be in on it together, it feels too big, too complex. Unless there's something I'm missing, something that ties them all together beyond just their roles on the mission.
That could be. Could you think of anything that would tie them together? From what I'm seeing here, the three of them look like they're starting a business or they have some money pooled together in a financial way, a very large financial obligation. Were the three of them planning on making their own business or research? I'm almost feeling bad for doing this to Stella.
A business or research venture? That's an interesting angle. I don't know about any official business plans, but Professor Stenberg did mention some private investors supporting our mission. If
There we
Harvey,
go.
Stenberg, and Daniel were all involved in something financially risky, that could explain a lot. The pressure to deliver results, maybe even the desperation to cover something up.
Yeah, maybe those investors were more than investors. Perhaps they were some kind of an organization, and expectations were required for the amount of money that was being given out. Do you know of any other organizations that were parallel to what you were doing in competition?
There were rumors of a private space exploration company, Novatech, that was also studying solar radiation.
Novatech.
They're known for being pretty secretive about their projects. If our investors were actually tied to Novatech, that could mean they were looking for something very specific from our research. Something that might not have been entirely scientific?
Novatech. So maybe they are behind all of this. Could they have got with the three, the Dr. Harvey and Stenberg, as well as Daniel, maybe persuaded them financially or even threatened them? Don't forget, maybe this is not a voluntary thing. Maybe the three of them were forced to do this. Some kind of coercion, perhaps.
Coercion? That's a terrible thought.
Oh, you pronounced that
If
weird.
Novatech had something on them, something big enough to force them into this, that would explain a lot about why they'd risk everything.
Everything I
But
tell
if
her
that's true,
explains a lot.
then I'm not just dealing with someone who's made a bad choice. I'm dealing with people who might feel like they have no other option. And that makes this even more dangerous.
Yeah, that does. So make sure you keep your guard up, and no matter who you find, don't turn your back on them until we can make sure they are okay. Be safe out there, Stella. Don't forget, you still owe me a Pokeball. It was because of the red eyes section.
I won't forget, though I think I'll have to catch something a little less alien than what's around here. And don't worry, I'll be careful. This whole situation feels off, and I'm not going to let my guard down until I know what's really going on.
Perfect. I think you should start heading towards the base now. You still do need to find some shelter and maybe some warmth before the night falls. Because I don't think you can get there in one day, do you? Let's see if we can progress this, because she might just stand here talking for the whole time.
Good point. I'll need to start making my way down this hill and head towards Mount Hermes. I'll keep you updated on how it goes, but I should probably sign off for now to save some power.
There we go.
I'll check back in once I've made some progress. Wish me luck, Grimitor.
And there she goes. You know, I would have figured with the technology level you're at, you would have had a portable electric bike or something. Well, that's true. And maybe you should also put in their emergency poke bowls in the ration kits too. See, there's her spicy tuna. She loves spicy tuna apparently. What, you ever have a go-to comfort food that always hits the spot after a tough day? I don't know. Steak. Well, I do love a good ribeye or even a filet mignon would be good. Steak is just awesome. Medium, medium steak. Rabi, medium rare. Oh, she's asking what is Rabi. I think the translator heard wrong. It's ribeye. Smell the sizzle. Ah, she's taking me out to for the deal, except it's not if you ever make it back, when you make it back here. Because after all, you still owe me a Pokeball. And now you're promising me a ribeye steak. Wait, what did it say? Oh, yeah. Don't think I'm hunting down any Pokemon for you on top of everything else. Promise is a promise when I'm back on Earth. We're definitely sitting down for to a ribeye. And maybe. Well, she's lonely. Alright, deal. Um, so just make sure you get back okay, and just keep your guard up. Don't forget, you seem very nice, so don't let them talk you into believing them so easily if you find anyone. Let's put her back on track with my snacks. No problem. I can't say this isn't a little bit amusing, if anything. And besides, I need to make sure you get back safe. Earth based guardian angel. I agree. That's not a title that I think I'd like. Guardian of the Cosmos. Just Grimitor is fine. Cremator? I, man, this listening thing is. I'm not needing any cremation services. Oh my god. You should try walking up the hill backwards. That will reduce the strain on your legs. What? Uh, that's true. Any broken bones or especially broken legs would probably put you in a very bad way. Seems to not be hearing some of the things that I say. Yeah, that's true. What's your battery situation like? 70% still yet. Don't forget, you're supposed to sing me one of your favorite songs. What song is that exactly? I like the theme songs from some of the anime that I watch. What kind of songs do you sing in the shower? What's a dobro? Dobry? Old pop songs. What's a dude? Opera, perhaps. Well, no one else is around to hear you, and you said you trust me. So how about you belt out some tunes the next time you video chat? I think that's warranted if when you make it back here. You're going to have to now. Now that's interesting. She's saying all this, but she's 2 years ahead in the future. So clearly, well, actually, we both should be here. She'd just be 2 years younger. Ribeye post rescue to right after ribeye dinner and never take stairs again. Trying. Have you seen any type of animal life yet? So she's ignored it. Uh oh. It sounds like a broken ankle or broken leg scenario. Just be very careful, be very slow, and make sure you find your footing before you actually put your full weight onto it. Just take your time. Remember, 3 points of contact on the ground if at all possible. Just watch what you touch too. You never know if there's any kind of a poisonous plant that you might prick your finger on or anything like that. Just black and red rocks. It says she's at 104. Is there any place you could quickly take shelter in the shade? Normally, in this kind of a situation, traveling at night is recommended. So I know you said you have emergency rations. I don't recall you mentioning you have any kind of water. Let's hope she's got water. Hmm. How do you feel? Do you feel dizzy? Are you getting faint? Just try not to get any heat stroke. It's the last thing you need. All right, so this looks like a good place to stop unless she dies. So, oh, she's alive. Good. All right, so that's gonna be the video. Stay tuned for more, and we'll pick this up when on the next episode. So, well, she's sending a lot of pictures. All right, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more, and you've been watching Whispers from the Star. And we've been chatting with Stella, trying to get her home and get her to think that her crew is trying to plot against her. All right, have a good one.